Hey, what is going on, everybody out there? I'm Jakejames Lugo, and this is tabmok99. Me and him just got finished done shooting a collab for a new review that you guys are going to be seeing soon. But today, in this video, we're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, because you saw Sonic.
I saw Sonic.
I saw Sonic the first night, like that. You're wearing a Sonic meme shirt, as you should.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about this meme until you showed it to me.
Harry Potter, Obama, and Sonic.
I don't even know, but yes. Okay, so, and me, I'm wearing a SEGA Pride shirt, you know, Sega Genesis, Sega console shirt. From
you got
Sega.
that at like E3, right?
Literally at E3 from Sega. So it's like we're all Sega and Sonic out today. So
that's right.
Let's talk about this movie, because big movie for a lot of people, big deal for a lot of people. Some say it's the best video game movie ever. And you know something? I don't believe that.
I think Mortal Kombat's always going to be the best video game movie.
That's my argument, is that, you know, and we'll get more into detail now, because we're going to talk about all of our thoughts about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, or at least the first big live-action Sonic movie, because there's been other Sonic movies, you know, the Sonic OVA.
But this is the first theatrical...
This is the first live-action theatrical movie for Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a huge deal. Now, I think we both liked the movie, from my understanding.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable.
It was great.
I have my criticisms about it, you know, and a lot of people are really big in this movie, yo. I gotta say, like, y'all need to calm down for like a minute. Like, you guys are too much hopped up on coffee about this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think some of the hardcore Sonic fans will be upset if any detail is wrong.
Right,
but really,
like,
as a casual Sonic fan, I thought this was good.
Yeah, I thought it was enjoyable. I got a few laughs out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was expecting this movie to suck. Like, I think a lot of people went into the theater, was like, okay, let's just get this over with. And I think everybody walked out satisfied.
It was, yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a fun movie to watch. Like, they kept it fun. They kept it entertaining.
Which is all we could ask for a movie. Now,
that's what it's supposed to be.
What do you think about Sonic himself? Because I don't think this is Sonic's personality. Now, I understand why they actually made the changes they did, but to me, obviously Julia White, you know, the voice of Sonic from the cartoon show, as well as also the OVA, I feel like that's more in tune with what Sonic's personality should be. But for this live action interpretation, I understood why they did. But again, this is just my own little nitpick.
Yeah, Sonic is supposed to have a little bit more of an attitude.
Like he's supposed to be like a jerk, almost, in a sense. Like, he's not so much of a jerk here, he's more like an orphan.
He's supposed to be more aggressive, and he wasn't that. He was more calm, subdued. He was more... he had responsibilities, and he knew that he had to kind of live this life as an outsider. And
he was also just living alone, and that did a number, I guess, on his mental health, you know, because, again, he felt more lonely and wanted friends more than anything else. And to me, that's not always Sonic, because Sonic, you know, granted, there's always Tails and the other animals running around with him and stuff, but, like, I felt like there wasn't as much jerkiness, you know, to Sonic, almost.
Yeah, right. This was, like, almost like a self-imposed isolation. Like, you know how... when you go to jail, the last thing you want is to be in solitary confinement.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's basically Sonic.
That's Sonic throughout the whole movie. Well, that's
he's
a little
in solitary.
Extreme. It's a little extreme. But
I might have been exaggerating a teensy.
You guys get the idea. I mean, but that's just a little nitpick for me. But overall, like, his interactions with Tom, which is the human character that he runs into,
right?
You know, before Dr. Robotnik, who, by the way, before we get into those, Jim Carrey.
He killed it.
He killed it.
He steals the scene every time.
I expected him to suck. I am not gonna lie. I will take my L and eat my crow, because I expected Jim Carrey not to be good. I expected him to be too Jim Carrey, and I didn't even realize that what he was doing was too Jim Carrey, and it worked. It was just like, it was just fun. He was like, a lot of people kind of attuned this to like how he was in Ace Ventura in the 90s.
Okay.
Like,
he was a little over the top there.
This one, he's really over the top, and I think it just works. It just was funny.
It was perfect. You know what? That's exactly who we needed Dr. Robotnik to be. And if we can talk plot for a minute.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that it was always confusing. Like, is Sonic takes place on Earth? Does it take place on another planet altogether?
It's always supposed to be on another planet. It's supposed to be Mobius. Like, if I'm out, you know, if I'm getting it right, because I know the games and the cartoons are like all over the place with it. I think it's supposed to be the planet Mobius.
Yeah, and some incarnations it's Planet Freedom. Yeah. But apparently, for the original game developers, they always intended it to be Earth all along. So that whole it was another planet thing was just kind of like outside the game's canon.
Hey, I mean, the comics also, they went nuts with the continuity.
They did. So how do you take all of the Sonic lore and be faithful to all of it? Like, was it supposed to take place on Earth or another planet? Well, you know what? How about if it does take place on Earth, but Sonic is from another planet and he spends his time here?
They do both, which is great.
It was a good amalgamation. They took it together and they made it work, and so everybody regarded Sonic as a blue alien. Yeah. And like, all right, I like it.
It was funny.
I'm feeling it.
It was actually kind of funny for some of the stuff. Again, some of the cheeky moments, the little jokes that they had there, especially when he finally meets Tom. You know, after again he gets shot by Tom with a tranquilizer gun, which is really funny. Like that was pretty funny. And then when they go into that bar or that kind of like a little hut with all the motorcycle peeps and stuff, that I thought was hilarious. Like there was just some moments in there that was like, okay, you got me.
Yeah, and not only that, but a scene like that where Sonic is attracted to sort of that crowd.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that does sort of play on the fact that this is the attitude that Sonic wants to have.
But it's a modern
and he'll develop.
attitude.
But he'll develop that attitude. You can kind of see.
Yeah, it's just like, again, it kind of stuck out of me. And again, little nitpick here, but it just wasn't his personality, but I understood it for the context of the movie. And that's what made it work for me.
Yeah, and in fact, in the movie, he was kind of like a little kid that had to do what he was told by his parents.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was maybe not the most obedient kid.
Now, I will say this, though, like, the whole subplot of him, well, I guess not even really subplot, it's more like towards the conclusion of the movie, where now he gets adopted by Tom and his wife there. And again, I'm missing on the... Yeah, he moves in, but he's almost kind of like adopted by them. Like, again, he gets his own room as like a little kid. He also have all his stuff from the cave, because he was living in a cave when he first came to Earth. And then he just moves into Tom's place after stalking them, which I thought was like really random. He's like stalking Tom and his wife throughout most of the early parts of the movie. I was like, okay, I get it, because he doesn't want to get discovered. And
he feels attached to that family. That's sort of who he latched
onto. It was
onto.
Creepy, but it was a cute, funny, creepy.
Do you remember what he calls him?
What did he call him? I don't remember.
Was it Lord Donut?
Oh, Lord Donut. That's his nickname, because Tom talks to the donuts while he's on patrol. And he's like a highway patrol officer and for the small town.
And he gets bored a lot.
And he's trying to catch people speeding, but nobody actually gets caught. Nobody speeds in the
Sonic
town.
is the first guy that actually speeds.
It's funny because I think he clocks him on the speed gun, and it's like 200 and something.
299.
299. Look at that. It's just like 2.
And then the next time,
wait a
it's
second.
300.
That's an Easter egg. That's an Easter egg. 299 was the cost of the Sega Genesis, the bundle.
There you go.
For the Sonic bundle for the Sega Genesis. Wow, that's meta.
How many other Easter eggs were there? Because look, the city that they lived in was Green Hills, Montana.
Now, here's another thing. This is debatable. That mushroom planet that he was pointing to, I thought that was a hard nod to the Mushroom Hill Zone from Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, totally.
I totally thought that was, granted, it didn't look like it. It was just like a bunch of dirty mushrooms that were there.
Oh, yeah, no, that's exactly
that was the first thing that popped into my head, because it's like this place full of mushrooms. So, like, that's gotta be Mushroom Hill Zone.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's no question about it. Hey, you know what else? Did you notice this? There was, when Sonic was playing ping pong on the ping pong table, it was actually a road sign that said Hilltop Road.
Really?
That's the Easter egg for the Hilltop Zone.
Wow, look at that. This is like some super mess, like blink if you miss it type of stuff. I mean, obviously there's the Sega Saturn symbol that shows up in there. I forgot where exactly it was specifically, but I noticed. I was like, oh, look at that. That's a Saturn.
That was one I didn't catch.
That was a Saturn logo. It was like something either he was looking at or something when he was still before he came to Earth. It was something random. I know, but when I saw it, I was like, wait a second, that's a Sega Saturn logo. And I swear to God, I kept expecting it. It never happened. I thought they were going to do a Sega Sanshiro reference somewhere in there because of Sega, obviously.
You know, out of all the different planets that he can travel to, maybe one day he'll travel to the planet Saturn. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be hilarious. Like, you want to talk about meta, and like, it's stupid in hindsight, but like, it's super meta. Like, this is the type of humor, I guess that Sonic fans or Sega fans are cool with now.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. But there was a lot more references. Again, there was obviously the musical theme to Green Hill Zone.
We heard it in the beginning, and
we heard it
again.
at the end. Yeah, we heard it at the very end. I think it's like a piano version. And then also, I'm pretty sure this is also a nod and Easter egg. But I heard T. Lopes' music at the very beginning when he's still in his home planet, and he's going through the loops and stuff. That's the theme to the trailer to Sonic Mania.
Oh, see, I didn't catch that.
It's the very beginning of the song, because, again, I saw that trailer so many times, and again, having covered the game and reviewed it and stuff, I recognized
You're
that
sensitive to that beat.
I recognized that specific, tune, and I was like, wait a second, that's T. Lopes' music. Now, it's very quick. They don't play the full track. It's the very beginning. Like, again, let me know in the comment section down below, but because I'm telling you, go back and look at that, when you go see the movie in the theaters. Again, like, don't do anything else. But, like, listen to that theme, and I'll tell you right now, that's the same theme that you get in that trailer. It was just, like, something that stood out to me like that. Was there any other Easter eggs, though, that you could think of that was, like, real big ones? I was like, oh, that... Besides, like, obviously the echidnas in the very beginning, which is Knuckles' race. For whatever reason, they're chasing Sonic, and they're, like, trying to kill him, essentially. They're trying to kill the owl, too. Yeah. Which is his mother. I think the owl's from the comics, if I'm not mistaken.
See, I'm not familiar with the Sonic lore. See, I know the Mortal Kombat lore in and out. I don't know the Sonic lore that well.
You gotta up your game now. Like, this is retro. This is other retro. Like, I'm a Sonic fan.
The other retro 90s.
I'm a big Sonic fan, and I'm not even caught up on any of this. Like, I didn't read all the comics. Like, it's a lot of this stuff, though. There seems like there were some deep cuts, though, which I appreciate.
There were, you know what? There were things that happened in the Sonic the Hedgehog game that you could recognize, like, oh, it's happening on the screen. Like, he gets a new pair of red shoes. Like, oh yeah, that's like a power-up item in the game.
Now, it's funny how he gets the new shoes, and it's the actual shoes that are iconic, because he also has shoes that look like it, but they're all worn down. Like, when, I think it's his right or left, I can't remember which foot it was, but it shows, like, that redness to it, but it looks like he's been running around and been alone for so many years.
They're beat up.
They're really beat up.
Yeah.
When he finally gets them, they look like the modern Sonic shoes. from like Modern Sonic, which is cool.
It's like, okay, that's a power up in the game. You get a new pair of shoes and you run around really fast, and it's awesome.
Now,
he does run around real fast after he gets them too.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
that is very true. Now, what did you think about the powers with the rings? Because I get the logic that they're trying to explain why he needs those rings and he collects them, or has a bag of them and stuff. But they're his key to going to different planets, different areas. Yeah. What did you think of that?
Okay, I'm glad you asked me that, because there's two things that I think are both of those, in a way, are callback to the games. And one of them is like, I think it's in Sonic 3, but it might be a different one, where there is like a giant ring that when you get into it, it's a bonus round.
It's a bonus round that takes you to a new area that gives you the ability
to
get
the Chaos Emeralds. So you do use giant rings to travel. Like, that is part of
I think that also, that's a hard nod to modern Sonic, like Sonic Adventure, Sonic, 06, etc., and some of the other later games, because those are sections, and I think even Sonic 3D Blast, where you jump into rings, it takes you to new areas.
Yeah, so...
Like, that's an old, thing.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny the way they said, oh, all the advanced cultures use these to travel. It's like, oh, great, what does that say about us then?
Yeah, right? Like, we're total trashed here, down here on Earth, like, practically.
Yeah, some backwater planet.
Now, off of that, though, what do you think about the fact that they didn't talk about the Chaos Emeralds? Because remember, the Chaos Emeralds, ever since Sonic 1, are a big deal. I think this is cool.
That was a crazy omission.
It's a crazy, but I understand why they did it, because this sets up a sequel. Like, and we'll get into why in a second, but, like, I think
because you have to have something for the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. I think as far as basic, showing who Sonic is at the very start, like what he's all about, him coming to Earth and stuff, I think that's good for an origin movie, for what this is.
Yeah, well, going back to the rings for a minute, the other thing I like about it is that there's a scene where Sonic gets hit and he drops all his rings,
and you hear the sound. You hear the sound.
Like, that's it. That's what always happens to me when I play it, and I hate that part, but it's so cool to see it happen to somebody else.
You did it, Sega.
Yes.
And you did it in a clever way.
They did.
Funny. Now there is a couple holes in logic to the plot, but there's a couple, but there's one that they explain in a very funny way that I thought was like, okay, that was good.
Okay, tell me some of the holes besides the ones in the donuts.
Okay, running up the hill. I mean, not the hill, the skyscraper to go to get the to get the rings back. Because remember, it's on the top of that roof there. He goes
in San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
Yes.
Okay, when they're already in San Francisco. Okay, like this towards the end of the movie. He instead of running up the building, which is what he does essentially at one point in another scene, but he goes inside and it says like it's blocked by a door. So and then instead of like running up the actual building to go get it from the roof, I was like, okay, I get it. They got to keep the movie going. It's a stupid plot hole, but it's like, okay, fine, whatever.
No, you're right. He should have been able to use his super speed.
To just run up. Like, okay, I get it. It's fine. Okay. The other one too, but they explain it in a scene, is when he tries to run across the ocean to San Francisco, but he doesn't know where it is. So he comes back. He's like, listen, I'm wet. I'm all messed up, and I need some help because I need to know where to go. Like, I thought that was funny.
That is kind of funny, because just because you have super speed doesn't mean it's easy for you to navigate. Have a map. That's a big world.
He doesn't know where he's at. Like, I mean, he could use obviously he doesn't have the rings at this point to teleport there.
He'd need a compass, too. Yeah. He'd need more than just a map.
Exactly, so he doesn't know. He doesn't live here, so he doesn't know. But it was kind of funny, like, that scene. I was like, okay, you earned this one. Like, that made me laugh a little bit.
Yeah, and I thought they set it up well, like, well, why can't he use the rings to get to San Francisco? Oh, because he lost the rings.
Because
they all fell in. Yeah. The bag
cool.
fell into one of the big rings, and it landed in San Francisco.
So let's also talk about a little bit more about Dr. Robotnik, which I'm glad they call him Dr. Robotnik, and when they do call him Eggman, it's because Sonic is insulting him.
And there's a logical reason for it, because his machines are shaped like eggs. So he controls them. He's Eggman. Like, oh, okay,
now,
I like it.
One thing, though, that this is when I was seeing the trailers and thinking about the movie, and what I was really down about is because Eggman, or Dr. Robotnik, doesn't really look the way that he normally looks in the games. It's almost the very end of the movie. But they show the process, and they explain it. Why he does look like the way he looks like, from the games and stuff by the time the movie's over.
I love that ending. I love the way...
it was like rock exploration. Like, it was so stupid. Like, he's chucking a rock.
Agent Stone.
Agent Stone.
Agent Stone.
I feel like that's a nod to something, but for whatever it was just too funny. Like,
yes.
That's solely because of Jim Carrey. Like, just because his improvisation and the way that he has timing for comedy, on point, like, hands down, like
100% right. And his mustache, the way he looked at the end,
and he looked exactly like what Dr. Robotnik should look like. But again, I get it where
just thinner.
But towards the end is like how he looked like it. But like it made me feel a little bit better about his look throughout the rest of the movie, towards the beginning and the middle, like that, because he doesn't look like Robotnik. In the very last couple minutes.
That's right.
Which is, again, it makes sense because of like all the stuff that happened when fighting Sonic. But
there's a logical reason. He's stranded on a planet. He doesn't have access to our facilities, so his appearance kind of falls apart.
And I feel like, because one other thing too about Robotnik is that his personality with Jim Carrey, he's a jerk, and it's funny. It's hilarious. Like, he just talks down to everyone. He's the smartest person in the room, and he knows it. Like,
and he wants everyone else to know it.
He wants everybody to remember it, which is the
all
best.
the time. That's like all he talks about is how smart he is.
Yeah, and then his crony, his assistant too, the one that gets him the latte and stuff. I thought those two were funny.
Yes.
Like, I mean, they didn't have a lot of funny moments, but they had a couple that was like, okay, this is good.
But Jim Carrey, he's good in every scene that he's in, and anybody I think can kind of work well with him. All those guys, all those scenes, they're great together.
Yeah. So what did you think about when Sonic and him are kind of battling out? Like in the middle of the movie when they're running, when him and Tom are in the car and Eggman's firing the different robots at him, which are essentially the Badniks. Basically, they're called the Badniks in the Sonic lore. And what did you think of those machines? Because obviously they're modernized. To me, they remind me more about modern, like, Sonic Adventure stuff, as opposed to what were in the original Genesis games.
See, to me, it does remind me of the original Genesis games. Because every time Sonic destroys a machine, there's some other machine inside it that comes out.
Not always. In the Genesis games, it was that there was, animals that were imprisoned inside of them. That's what was powering the machines in the games.
Yes.
In the original, well, again, these are the Genesis games, but in the Sonic Adventure games,
but what I meant was the boss. Like when you beat the boss, that Robotnik is in some kind of a machine.
Yeah, and then he pops out of it.
Destroys it, but he pops out of it. There's another machine in there. So they took that, but to the next level. So there's like a machine within a machine within a machine within a machine.
And it was funny because like even the little tiny one, he's like, how can the tiny one do so much damage? He's like cutting off the car.
Oh yeah,
cutting off the top of the car. It's like really, really funny there. But like the way they looked in their design remind me of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Like straight up, like even I'm pretty sure at some point one of the robots that you see is probably a nod to that robot from Sonic Adventure 1. Like it's just something random too. Like that. It was a random part of the movie, like when you're inside his giant, was it that giant truck? He has that that transport that has all those robots there like that. And they all look kind of similar, but that's what that heavily reminded me of.
Yeah, it does. It's a good callback to that. But I think the way they function and the whole like you destroy a machine, but then there's still more machines. Yeah. Like Sonic's job is never done.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought that was a great callback.
So what did you think about Sonic and Dr. Robotnik's banter to each other? Like obviously we have those cool moments where it's like a nod to like X-Men Days of Futures Past with Quicksilver, the whole stopping time thing. That was cool, but
those are great scenes.
What about the interaction when Sonic and Robotnik are talking to each other? Like because obviously Robotnik doesn't know what Sonic is. It's the first time he's seen them.
Yeah, right. He knows that there's something special about Sonic. He knows that he wants Sonic power for himself. He's got the means and the know-how to like control that power and harness it.
No, look, but what's weird though is that usually Sonic's ability is never really like a power that Eggman could harness though. Like this was the first time I'm seeing something like that. I was like, okay, I buy it for this movie.
Yeah.
But I don't. Again, it's not something that really I could see from being pulled from like any part of like Sonic's mythology or his lore and stuff. Like again, his little hair powers up all these machines. Like, again, I thought that was a little bit weird.
I don't know too much about the Sonic lore, but I think it would make sense if they're building up towards Metal Sonic.
Well, here's the thing. Most of Eggman's machines and, like, again, some of the games and a lot of the comics and cartoons were really coming from either the rings or coming from the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
That was one of the things, especially Sonic 3
or little animals were powering it.
Well, yeah, or the little animals and stuff, but, like, really...
This is the first time Sonic would be the animal powering something.
Yeah, but, I mean, even just, like, one part of his quills, I thought that was a little bit weird. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. Like, that's, like, not really a MacGuffin because the rings are the MacGuffin in this entire movie, but, like, it was just something that was like, okay, like, I'll roll with it. Like, I'll get it because he has, like, this power where, again, there's one scene where he does this little thing around the diamond, being alone, he gets upset, and causes a blackout.
And he discharges lightning.
Yeah, and he does all this stuff, and that's what triggers Eggman and the government, really.
Right.
To find this, to see that
to hone in on him and see, investigate what the cause was. But you also see that, like, his quills, even if part of his quills fall off of him, they're still activate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they activate. But
still,
when he does.
I didn't buy it in that same way, and so it was like, okay, fine, I'll just roll with it, and it's just like everything else just fell into place. I was like totally cool with that afterwards.
So that's one of the loopholes that you were talking about earlier.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know if that's necessarily a loophole like that, but it was one of those things that's like you have to really stretch your suspension of disbelief to buy into that. Like for that specific. Other than that, everything else was fine. You kind of do because they really don't really explain Sonic's powers. Like,
and he doesn't even know
because he doesn't know.
He was born with them. He was born different.
Yeah, the owl.
Nobody knows why.
Yeah, and we obviously don't see his parents. We don't see any of that stuff. Really, his origin is not really his origin in this movie. Like we don't know like where he came from.
Yeah.
Stuff. But, like, the Great Owl, or, like, I call it the Great Owl because, like, they have Zelda. But, like, the owl, I forgot her name, that, was nursing him or was, like, actually, like, raising him and stuff before he goes to Earth, knows all about him and stuff because she explains to him, listen, you have a great power and you have all this stuff that they want to stop you from. I feel like in the second movie, when we get a sequel, because we're going to get a sequel to this movie, like, hands down. We have to. We're going to. Like,
do you think they'll call it Sonic 2, or do you think they'll call it Sonic and Tails?
That would be dope. I would rather call it Sonic and Tails.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Sonic 2 would make sense. or Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which would be kind of like the game, because that's exactly how the games work out. Because Sonic 1 was just Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Robotnik with all that stuff. Sonic 2 was literally Sonic and Tails. Well, they call him Miles Tails Prower, but it was just called Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Right.
So, I mean, it would be cool to have a nod like that to the game, but I would be totally cool if it was Sonic and Tails.
Yeah.
And then have the third movie, Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, there you go.
And then they can bring back Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
do
right?
the music.
Oh God. So this is the next thing we should talk about. Again, to kind of get close to wrapping up this video. Let's talk about the ending and the after credits or the mid credits.
Dude, the sprite animation scene. I loved that.
Yeah, that was cute.
I loved that.
That is animation that's very akin to Sonic Mania stuff. I mean, obviously it's 8 and 16-bit animation stuff, which is cool. I think there was a couple
it's dope. I love
nods, you know, because they used some of the newer design of Dr. Robotnik with the 16-bit design. With
they
the
do. They redrew that
One
sprite.
thing they didn't do, they kind of messed up on because, you know, I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a deleted scene or something with it. In the credits, you see him with the original Sonic 1 first boss fight in Green Hill Zone with the little kind of like crane thing.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't use that in the movie.
No.
That would have been, because I mean, if they had that there has to be a scene with him using that.
That was like a mashup of the original game with
the new stuff.
The influence of the movie.
But I'm just saying, like, there has to be some sort of deleted scene, like on a DVD or something, where there's a reference to that besides that. Because they had it in there, why wouldn't he use that in the movie? Like, again, it feels like there was a nod there that was an Easter egg they just dropped the ball with.
Yeah, I guess that's one of those things we'll have to wait to see when those deleted scenes drop. That'd be fun to watch.
Now, what did you think about Eggman ending up in the Mushroom Zone? We're going to call it Mushroom Zone as the Mushroom Planet, whatever, but Mushroom Hill Zone.
Right,
what
right, the Mushroom
What do you think about
world.
him ending up there?
Hey, what if we call it the Mushroom Kingdom? Would that work?
No. It's copyright. You're going to get us copyright struck by Nintendo. Well, what do you think about Robotnik ending up there?
I think it's great, and you know, if it were anybody else, I think they'd be driven insane. But knowing that it's him, I think he'll be back home by Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be funny if they announce, hey, guess what? Sonic 2 is coming out next year at Christmas.
By Christmas.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
They gotta do it.
But, like, this sets it up good for a sequel because I think this is how we get the Robotnik that we know, but obviously with the look, but also with the fact of him imprisoning Sonic's friends. I think, like, he's going to figure out some way, because remember, he still has his quill. Or he still has that little thing with his quill in it that it gives energy to his machines and stuff. Maybe he figures out a way to jump through the dimensions or jump from planet to planet.
Yeah, somehow. He probably will do that.
Because like, he doesn't have the rings. We know that. Because Sonic has all the rings because he used up a bunch of them, but he also has the bag.
Maybe there's already rings on this planet, though.
Maybe. Because I would be very, very surprised.
I know they said it's an isolated planet, there's nobody there. But what if there used to be? And what if they left their rings behind?
Exactly. And I don't think like Sonic's planet is the only place you could get rings. Because obviously every zone in the games has rings.
All intelligent cultures use them to travel.
Yeah, right. They even say it. Like,
right.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be something where Robotnik...
So what if this planet used to be inhabited?
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
I would not be surprised if that's the case. That would be a good way to explain, like, okay, Robotnik could jump from place to place, or this is how he comes back to Earth, and he comes back in full force.
Well, you know, from a storytelling perspective, I think it's really powerful that he got rid of Robotnik and sent him into exile into this other planet. Because you always want to have some kind of point of connection between the hero and the villain.
Yeah.
Now, Sonic grew up in isolation, like we talked about before.
Yeah.
And Robotnik is now going to experience that kind of isolation. So there will be, I hope
Robotnik even explains he was an orphan, too. There was a quick line in there where he talks about his origin, you know, not too much, but like he talks about a bully and stuff. Sometime in that conversation, but he says he was also raised as an orphan. Which I thought was pretty unique because, again, they're making it out that Sonic is an orphan in this case, so is Robotnik. There's a lot of parallels there.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll have even more so if and when they come out with the sequel.
But I think that's a good setup for when we get a second movie, because we're going to get it. Like, that is going to happen. And I think that'd be a great way to set up Dr. Robotnik as a really much more bigger threat. You know, to come back to Earth to get revenge on Sonic. Or even to draw Sonic into some of these other worlds. Because I really believe this is how he's going to start imprisoning his friends, you know, in some way. Because that's the premise of most of the games.
That is.
You know,
that is.
And keep in mind also, now we should talk about the mid-credit scene, because we're already way past the spoiler point at this
Oh, yeah, right. Spoiler alert, guys.
Yeah, right. Tails showing up at the end. This is what everybody was talking about. I was expecting it throughout the whole movie, and I called it. I knew it was going to happen at some point to set it up for a sequel.
It was great.
What do you think about him happening, you know, showing up like that? And then also, keep in mind, he's like, okay, I think I found him. Like that, he's tracking Sonic, clearly.
Right. He's
looking for Sonic.
That's who he wants.
So he knows that something's up. Maybe there's some time after the ending of the movie, and then maybe something's going on with Dr. Robotnik. That's why he's going to find Sonic. Maybe that's why.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah, right?
But you know, there is one thing. I thought it was great that they brought back the same voice actor for Tails.
Yeah.
That was from Sonic Boom.
From Sonic Boom. She did a lot of the voice of Tails in multiple different pieces of media besides Sonic Boom, I know.
Yeah.
Which is great, you know, which is cool. And a lot of people are like, oh, yo, that Tails is on point. That's why.
That is. It's the exact same Tails.
So, but what do you think about the voice of Sonic, though, James Morrison? Yeah, it's James Marsden. I'm pretty sure it's James Marsden. I got it right because I have to pull up the cast on my phone. Yeah, no, it's Ben Schwartz. I'm sorry, Ben Schwartz.
That's it, Ben Schwartz.
James Marsden is the actor that's plays Tom.
Tom.
Okay, that's the human character. But
Yep.
Ben Schwartz, what do you think of the voice of Sonic? Honestly,
Let me think. I'm trying to let me picture it in my head. Yeah, I think it was right.
you think it was good?
I think it was the right voice for this movie.
I think it was fine. Again, I would love to. Again, I don't know why they don't get Julia White to be the voice of Sonic, because again, that's like legacy and stuff. Or even the voice of Sonic for the modern Sonic, which I can't remember who it was in the newer Sonic games, like Sonic 06, Sonic I'm trying to remember Sonic Generations, etc. Like that. But again, I was fine with it. Once I got into the movie, I was totally fine with it. When I first heard it in the trailers, I didn't like it.
Really?
Really, real talk. I was like, why aren't they getting Julia White? Why aren't they getting this person? This just seems weird and stuff. But now that I've seen the movie, I think I'm in.
You know what? You needed somebody who can bring that kind of humor and comedy to the role, and I think he did. I think he brought it.
I think it's fine for this movie. Again, my nitpick, not really Sonic's personality. That's just my own little nitpicky thing. But I'm fine with it. I think I was cool with it.
Yeah, I think it works. I think we covered a lot of stuff about like the plot, like what planet it's supposed to be, and what kind of attitude he should have, and all the best things.
For the
that we
movie,
liked.
it works fine.
I think it was wonderful.
For the movie, it works fine. But again, that's always going to be like my little.
You might not want that guy to be the voice of Sonic in the next game.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but like, I'm pretty sure
when they make a sequel to the movie, I think it should bring him back.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think that should get everybody back, for a sequel. Obviously, that appeared in this movie into the next one.
For sure.
For continuity's sake, like that. Even some of the side characters, because there was a lot of characters, especially some actors from Battlestar Galactica, that were in the government. Did you notice that? Like one of the main dudes from Battlestar Galactica is one of the generals.
Oh,
the guy who got the eye patch in Battlestar Galactica. If you remember that, like it's a deep cut.
Another great Easter egg.
Another great Easter egg.
Well, let me ask you a question about Tails. Didn't you always feel like Sonic and Tails were supposed to be like best friends since childhood? Because here, I don't see how they.
No, that's not the case at all. In this, and from this origin, because it shows that Sonic is in isolation with the owl.
Unless Sonic recognizes Tails when they meet each other in the
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think
so?
that Tails knows about Sonic, but Sonic doesn't know about Tails in the sequel.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Because if you really think about it, he never once mentions Tails at all throughout the entire movie. He never mentions anybody else because he said he always wanted a friend. And that's he got that from Tom. So what if this is the way that obviously that friendship is built up, or even it starts off with conflict at the very beginning between Sonic and Tails, and then they work together in the sequel like that. Because remember, Sonic's first friend is Tom. That's the first human he meets like that. So there's some interesting dynamics that could be built up there, depending on what goes down. But again, getting back to that after credit scene when Tails shows up, again, he clearly knows where Sonic is. He's tracking him. He's trying to find him in urgency.
And wasn't it so cool to watch him fly?
Yeah, and to see him fly, it actually looked good. It actually looked good. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down with that. Like, I was waiting for it. Everybody in the theater was like, okay, what's going to happen? He goes and he flies, and it actually looks cool. And I think they have the sound. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have the original sound for when Tails flies. I have to go back and listen to it.
When they do make a sequel, hopefully they'll use the tagline, "You'll believe a fox can fly."
Oh, God. I believe a fox can fly. Now, I want to know if they're going to call him by Tails in the next movie, which they should, or they're going to reference Miles Tails per hour.
Well, you know what they did.
They should.
You know what they did with Robotnik and Eggman. You know that they threw it all in there.
The other thing too, you don't see the Eggman logo until the very end. Did you notice that? Like, what I mean by the Eggman logo is there's this logo in all the Sonic games that has Eggman or Dr. Robotnik's logo on all his equipment and stuff, and they show it in the little montage thing with the little pixel art and stuff, but they don't show it in the movie. Anywhere in the movie, in any of his machines, because remember, Robotnik is working for the government.
Right.
Okay, he's working for the United States government. He's like, all in with that. But I'm surprised we didn't get to see like any of that Robotnik branding and stuff, because that's iconic to the series, like specifically for Robotnik. It's just weird. Like, I just noticed that at the very end. That's the only time you see it.
I never thought about that.
That's the only time you see it, which is funny.
The fact that it was in that sprite scene, but not throughout the duration of the movie, they must have been playing with the idea. They must have been thinking about it.
Unless I missed something in the background, because again, I was like combing around, like looking for it.
Well, that's possible.
I'm pretty sure, because again, there's so much references in this movie, like all over the place. But
there's a lot.
Probably one in there. Let us know down in the comment section. But overall, to wrap this up, good movie, bad movie. Would you recommend it? Seeing again?
Yeah, I definitely would recommend it. I am going to see it again. I think when it comes out on video, I'll definitely give it another watch through.
Me too.
Is it the best video game movie? No, we've already covered what that is.
I don't think so. I think that Mortal Kombat is still the best video game adaptation, because this is good. Let me tell you something. Like, this whole SEGA movie studio thing gets me excited to see what else they could do, because that whole montage at the beginning where it's at SEGA,
it reminded me of like the intro of like a Marvel movie or something like that. Exactly. Where you see that, hey, we have decades and decades worth of content to draw on and adapt into a movie.
This gives me hope to see a Golden Axe movie.
Yes.
Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
Altered Beast.
Altered Beast, I was just going to say
Vector
that.
Man. Like, there's so much you could pull from here. Like, there's a lot. Like, there's so many years of Sega's like Yakuza.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's so many
Tons.
things. There's a lot that you can pull from here.
And not only that, but when other video game companies are watching and seeing what happens with this, maybe Nintendo will decide to go all in with another Mario.
I really believe that this and whatever the next movie is going to be, because remember, there's other video game movies coming out. There's an Uncharted movie. There's still a Metal Gear Solid movie in the works and stuff. I think this shows that video game movies can work in some way, even though they're not perfect, but they can still work. And they can make money, because Sonic made a lot of money this weekend. At the time we're recording this is post-release, which is that Monday after, because they came out on Thursday recently, like right around Valentine's Day.
Yeah, this had the biggest opening weekend for a video game movie.
Period.
Yeah,
like
that means it beat Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
it beat
did.
Resident Evil. Like all the big.
Beating Detective Pikachu is surprising because Pokemon is a huge franchise. I would argue bigger than Sonic in some regard, like that. As far as the global brand. Like that.
Hard to say.
I think there's an argument that can be made there, because especially with relevancy, because Pokemon has been huge for many years. It's really a ridiculous.
There's a lot of fans who got to catch them all.
Yeah. There's a lot of fans who have caught them all and then didn't get them all because a new game came out.
That's right. That's what happens.
But as far as like video game movies are concerned, this shows that they can work and they can make money, and people want more apparently.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it was fun. I expected it to be a lot worse, and I was genuinely surprised about it, which is good.
As soon as they announced Jim Carrey, I'm like, oh, good. The movie's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. As soon as they announced them, I'm like,
I got worried.
Right,
I was like, I kept saying to myself, I love Jim Carrey, but this sounds like it's gonna be another Batman Forever, and it's like, let me see what happens, and I'm glad to be proven wrong.
Well, riddle me this, Jakejames. Okay. Could you have imagined a different actor as Robotnik? Could you imagine anybody else?
I don't think anybody would have had the fortitude to play that part, honestly. Other than Jim Carrey, like, there's a lot of other great comedy actors out there, but I think there's a charm to Jim Carrey when it comes to over-the-top acting.
Him.
That's just Jim Carrey. Like, he just knows he's a master at it.
That's
he just flat out, there's nobody else that can play this. It's like nobody else can play Ace Ventura. Like, I mean, granted, that's a more iconic movie role for him now, but like, still, like, when it comes to over the top and like over exaggeration,
I don't think anybody else could be the Mask either.
Yes, I think the Mask.
Yeah, I think it's
like it's just it's
what he brings to the table. That's it.
And he makes it work. And I want to see him like how he is at the end of this movie. I want to see him like that in the sequel. I want to see him like that. Same acting, same attitude, and everything.
And maybe even with a little bit of a pot belly.
Yeah, and a pot belly. Oh,
maybe.
Put him in the suit. Put him like they did with the Grinch. Do like that.
If they can come up with a good reason for it, I'm
even fine without it. Like, because he looks like with the flight suit and everything, he looks fine. Like,
well, maybe he just had a weird reaction to the mushrooms that he had to eat.
I don't
know. Maybe there's a good reason.
Not thinking about it would be actually. You know what? This movie's making me laugh a little bit more.
We'll see.
Like that.
We'll see.
But anyway, Tabmok, thanks for chatting up with me about this movie.
Hey, thank you for having me, buddy.
Of course, again, like, we have a lot of content for you guys coming to the channel right now. Let us know what you think about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie down below in the comments section. Make sure you like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm on my quest to get 10K subscribers here on the channel. I'm getting close.
You deserve it.
I hope, there could be that one guy that dislikes my video that's like, he doesn't deserve these subs.
You know what? I know there's a lot of people who watch your videos who probably haven't hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Now would be a good opportunity.
Now
Go
would
ahead.
be good to do so.
And if you don't already subscribe to me, tabmok99, you can do that too.
Go show him some love. He does a lot of Mortal Kombat stuff. We just shot our Mortal Kombat sequel trilogy video today.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I don't know if that'll be up by the time this review hits.
No. I think this review is going to be up. Yeah, it's going to come soon. Again, it's going to take me a little bit to edit and stuff like that, but it'll be up soon. And again, it's going to be fun. Again, love making content with you. Love making the content for you guys.
Yeah, so comment, subscribe to him, subscribe to me at youtube.com/tabmok99.
And down below.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, we will talk to you guys again very soon.
Peace
out. Stay epic, everybody.
Later.
Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Go ahead and click the boxes on the side to see more videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to go visit my Patreon page for exclusive gaming content that I know you'll really love. Hope you have a chill day. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.